The greatest illusion we are taught is that truth rules the world. It doesn't. Falsehood, the ability to craft appearances, manipulate perception, and control. Narrative is the true currency of power. Look closely and you'll see sincerity is rare, while strategy is everywhere. Behind every handshake, every smile, every promise, there is a calculation. People don't rise because they are honest. They rise because they know how to weave illusions that others believe in. Machiavelli understood this brutal truth. In a world built on appearances, truth becomes a liability for those naive enough to expose it. Meanwhile, illusion arms the ambitious with the means to conquer. Those who master falsehood without guilt shape their destiny. Those who cling to authenticity without strategy are trampled. It's easy to wish the world were kinder, to long for a life where truth and goodness are rewarded. But longing does not change reality. It only blinds you. Survival in the real world demands a hard choice. Either you learn the art of appearance, or you are consumed by those who already have. The game isn't fair because it was never meant to be. When you understand that falsehood isn't corruption, but adaptation, a shift happens inside you. You stop mourning the betrayal of appearances. You begin to see the battlefield for what it is. A theater where victory belongs to those who act better, not those who are better. In the end, those who refuse to use illusion are not remembered as heroes. They are remembered as victims. Everyone wears a mask. It is not a flaw. It is the basic requirement of survival. From the moment we take our first breath, society trains us to perform, to smile when we ache inside, to nod when we disagree, to hide fear under a veil of confidence. We wear these masks so naturally that we forget they exist, but they do, and those who forget are the ones most easily destroyed. The truth is harsh. No one is fully authentic. Behind every kind gesture, every whispered promise, every gesture of loyalty, there is often an invisible ledger, a calculation of benefit, a weighing of opportunities. People do not reveal their true faces because doing so would expose their vulnerabilities. And in a world that prizes advantage over sincerity, such exposure is fatal. Machiavelli and Nietzsche understood this reality long before the modern world put it in sharper focus. Human interaction is not a sacred space of honesty. It is a chessboard where every move, every word, every expression is part of a larger hidden game. Some play it consciously, others act out their roles unknowingly. But make no mistake, all are playing. If you still move through life believing that loyalty, sincerity, and affection are pure and untouched by personal gain, you are setting yourself up to be a pawn. Power does not belong to those who reveal their hearts. It belongs to those who master the art of concealment, those who understand that survival demands masks, not nakedness. In the end, it's not about being fake for the sake of deceit. It's about adapting to a world where appearances aren't lies. They are armor. Authenticity, though often praised as a virtue, is a silent danger in a world built on deception. In a theater where everyone wears masks to survive, the person who insists on being completely real becomes a glaring target. Transparency is not admired, it is exploited. Those who show their true emotions, their fears and their dreams, openly, unknowingly offer weapons to others. In a world where perception is power, exposing your true self is not an act of bravery. It is an act of self-destruction. Machiavelli knew that power is never granted to the sincere. It is seized by those who know how to bend appearances without losing control. Nietzsche warned that compassion and authenticity left unchecked become vulnerabilities in a ruthless society. People do not respect the authentic soul. They use it, manipulate it, and then discard it once it has no more to offer. When you insist on being real without strategy, you hand over your emotional blueprint to those waiting to use it against you. Your honesty becomes ammunition. Your openness becomes a roadmap for betrayal. In politics, in business, even in personal relationships, the ones who climb to power are not the ones who reveal everything. They are the ones who reveal only what strengthens their position and conceal what weakens it. If you truly seek to survive, you must accept this truth. Authenticity without discernment is not a virtue. It is a fatal flaw. Learn to reveal selectively. Master the art of silent strength. Protect your essence behind a fortress of strategic appearances, because in the end, it is not the pure who survive, it is the wise, the ones who understand that in a deceptive world, survival belongs to those who are willing to be seen only when it serves them. Success is not earned by virtue alone, it is earned by those who master the art of appearances. In a world where perception outweighs reality, it is not who you truly are that matters, it is who you appear to be here. Those who rise to power are not necessarily the most talented, the most moral, or even the most deserving. They are those who know how to construct an image that others cannot resist, cannot question, and cannot attack. Mastering appearances is not about becoming fake. It is about understanding that in a society driven by optics, the truth must be shaped to survive. People do not follow authenticity. They follow confidence, mystique, and curated strength. Winston Churchill's unwavering speeches, Elon Musk's crafted public persona, Steve Jobs' magnetic charisma, all were carefully maintained illusions designed to inspire influence and dominate. If you cling to the belief that raw truth will be enough, you will find yourself overlooked, discarded, and powerless. Success demands that you manage how others see you as skillfully as you manage your own ambitions. Your face to the world must be a mask you control, not a mirror of your vulnerabilities. This is not manipulation born out of malice. It is survival born out of necessity. Those who fail to adapt to the theater of appearances are not applauded for their honesty. They are forgotten. In the silent, ruthless currents of power, it is not enough to be strong. You must look strong. It is not enough to be wise. You must project wisdom. The true players of power know the game is not reality. The game is illusion, and only those who learn to play it with mastery carve their names into history. Every human relationship, no matter how intimate it appears, is a stage where value is exchanged through performance. Beneath every smile, every gesture of concern, every act of loyalty lies an invisible negotiation. What can you offer me, and what can I offer you? It is not cynicism, it is reality. We are wired to survive, to adapt, and in doing so, we naturally calculate. Even love. Friendship and family bonds are touched by this hidden transaction. From childhood, we learn that approval must be earned through behavior, good grades, polite manners, achievements. We carry this conditioning into adulthood, weaving performances that win promotions, friendships, partnerships. Yet few dare to acknowledge this reality. To see relationships as transactions feels cold. It threatens the comforting illusions we cling to, that love is unconditional, that loyalty is pure, that kindness is given without expectation. But those who rise to true power do not fear this truth. They master it. They understand that every interaction is a silent trade of needs, desires, and ambitions. They do not resent it. They use it. They know when to give and when to withhold, when to mirror someone's dreams, and when to quietly close the door. They are not cruel. They are strategic. If you insist on viewing your relationships through the naive lens of pure connection, you will be outplayed by those who see the deeper currents. Power flows to those who understand that affection can be leveraged, that loyalty can be bought, that trust can be manufactured. In the grand theater of life, the wisest do not simply play their roles, they direct the play. They know that behind every embrace lies a hidden contract, and they act accordingly with intelligence, not illusions. The legends who shaped history did not simply act with brute force. They mastered the silent art of controlling appearances. Their power was not just in armies or resources. It was in how they crafted perception. Winston Churchill, facing the darkest hours of war, projected unbreakable courage to a nation on the brink of collapse. His speeches were not mere reflections of personal conviction. They were deliberate masks of strength designed to inspire, to unite, and to manipulate fear into resilience. Napoleon Bonaparte rose not only through military genius, but through the meticulous construction of a myth, an image of an unstoppable leader, a man of destiny. His portraits, his proclamations, Even his silences were tools carefully shaped to embed authority into the minds of millions. He knew that appearance often outweighs truth, and he wielded it with lethal precision. In the modern era, figures like Steve Jobs and Elon Musk continued this tradition. Their public personas, visionary, relentless, revolutionary, were not accidents. They were weapons. They understood that the crowd does not follow authenticity. It follows crafted charisma, curated brilliance, and strategic mystery. True leaders know that emotion is contagious, and that perception often dictates reality. They do not reveal doubts when doubts arise. They do not show weakness when under siege. They mold their image until it becomes a fortress around them, a psychological weapon stronger than any army. Those who naively expose their vulnerabilities under the banner of being real are quickly devoured. History does not crown the transparent. It crowns the strategic. If you seek to lead, understand this truth. Your greatest asset is not only your strength, but your mastery of how your strength is seen. Appearance is not decoration. It is survival. In the ruthless theater of life, masks are not betrayals of the self. They are essential instruments of survival. Those who still cling to the notion that authenticity alone guarantees success misunderstand the brutal mechanics of human nature. Masks are not moral failures. They are tools crafted to protect the essence of who you are in a world that seeks to exploit it. Machiavelli understood this long ago. Survival demands adaptability, and adaptability demands performance. To survive without a mask is to walk naked into battle, to offer your heart in a world that sharpens knives against sincerity. Wearing a mask does not mean abandoning your soul. It means guarding it, disguising your true intentions, emotions, and vulnerabilities from those who would weaponize them against you. We are taught to despise deception, yet we live surrounded by it. Every political speech, every corporate announcement, every handshake at a networking event is a performance calibrated to sway, to influence, to gain ground. If the world itself runs on illusion, then to refuse to wear a mask is not nobility, it is suicide. Masks allow you to choose how much of yourself the world sees. They allow you to negotiate power on your terms, not as a victim but as a strategist. They are not about lying. They are about surviving. To master the art of the mask is not to become a villain. It is to become a player who understands that life, love, war, and politics are all games of perception. The world does not reward naked truth. It rewards those who understand that strength is not in exposing everything, but in revealing only what strengthens their position. Master your mask or be mastered by those who have. In the brutal hierarchy of power, those who stubbornly cling to raw authenticity fall first. They fall not because they are weak in spirit, but because they are blind to the nature of the battlefield. They walk upon a world governed by appearances, strategic alliances, and silent ambitions, does not forgive those who show all their cards. To move through life unmasked is not courage, it is naivete. The one who believes honesty alone will shield them is already marked for betrayal. They become predictable, exposed an easy pawn for those who have learned that survival demands more than good intentions. History is littered with the wreckage of souls who mistook sincerity for strength. They trusted too soon, revealed too much. Fought battles without armor, and were crushed by adversaries who smiled as they plunged the knife deeper. The real tragedy is not the betrayal itself. It is that they never understood they were playing the wrong game. In a world where everyone maneuvers behind a mask, refusing to wear one is a silent invitation for destruction. Power, loyalty, admiration. These are reserved for those who understand when to hide, when to reveal, and when to move unseen. The player who wears no mask believes they are honest. The master who wears many masks knows they are wise. If you cannot blend into the theater, you will be cast out of it. The first to fall are not the weak, they are the unguarded. In the end, the question is simple. Will you stubbornly demand a world that does not exist, or will you master the one that does? Those who refuse the mask are the first to vanish, forgotten by the very stage they dared to face. Bear. In the relentless game of power, your image is not a byproduct, it is your greatest weapon. Whether you realize it or not, every look, every word, every silence crafts the narrative others believe about you. The fatal mistake is to leave this narrative to chance. Those who succeed do not merely live, they meticulously control how they are seen. Knowing that perception often outweighs reality, Machiavelli understood that people judge not based on truth, but on the strength of appearances. And so, the wise do not expose every part of themselves to the world. They reveal only what strengthens their position, what protects their ambition, and what blinds their enemies. Every move, every reaction, every public moment is a calculated step in the art of personal mythology. To control your image consciously is not to live a lie, it is to command your destiny. It is to choose which version of yourself the world meets and when. It is the art of being unpredictable, unassailable, unknowable. Because when people cannot read you, they cannot control you. And when they cannot control you, they fear you, or at the very least respect you. Leave your image to randomness, and you will be shaped by the hands of others, manipulated by whispers and assumptions. Control your image with strategy, and you control not just how others see you, but how they treat you. In a world where perception builds alliances and destroys reputations, your image is either your fortress or your open wound. Choose wisely, sculpt it with precision. Master it like a weapon. Because in the end, it is not simply who you are that defines your fate, it is who they believe you are. In the ruthless arena of power, it is not reality that determines victory. It is perception. Facts can be ignored, truths can be buried. But perception, the story people believe, is the battlefield where reputations rise and empires fall. The mistake most people make is believing that reality speaks for itself. It doesn't. Reality is silent, only perception screams. Machiavelli taught that people judge by what they see, not by what is true. A leader who appears strong will command loyalty even if he is trembling inside. A rival who seems weak will invite attack, even if he holds hidden advantages. In the end, people do not follow facts. They follow feelings, images, symbols. They are led by what they think is true, not what is true. The masters of power understand this brutal law. They craft perceptions with surgical precision. They know when to project invincibility, when to feign vulnerability, when to disappear into the shadows, and when to step into the spotlight. They shape the battlefield before the first move is even made by shaping what others believe about them. If you waste your energy arguing reality, you will lose. If you control the perception, you win without a fight. History is written not by those who were right, but by those who looked right when it mattered most. The real war is not fought with armies. It is fought with narratives. The real victories are not achieved through brute strength, but through unseen shifts in belief. Control perception, and you control reality itself. Lose control of perception, and no matter how righteous you are, you will be erased. In this silent, merciless war, only the unseen strategist survives. In a world where perception is more powerful than truth, survival demands more than sincerity. It demands strategy. The game of power is not won by those who expose their hearts, but by those who master appearances, shape narratives, and control the images others see. Authenticity without wisdom is not a virtue. It is a vulnerability. To succeed, you must wear masks not out of deceit, but out of self-protection and strategic clarity. Understand this. Every relationship is a transaction. Every loyalty is conditional, and every gesture carries an invisible motive. The world will not reward your raw honesty. It will exploit it. True power lies in knowing what to reveal, when to conceal, and how to project strength even in your weakest moments. This is not a call to abandon your soul, but a call to armor it. Play the game consciously. Craft your image with intention, speak less, reveal little, and let your silence force others to wonder. In a society ruled by optics, those who master perception become untouchable. Power belongs not to the pure, but to the perceptive. Adapt or be outplayed.